I think this is an overall trend that the UFC is moving towards, and I think they've been moving towards it for years. And I don't think they'll acknowledge it publicly. They're becoming a kickboxing organization. Like the fact that Adesanya can make it 7 or 8 fights in and he's never been on the ground. The fact that Gagey is fighting Khabib and he hasn't been on the ground once. They don't want the GSPs, the Khabibs, and listen, some of those guys are still going to make their way into the organization. You know, like they're not going to be able to keep them out, but they're not going after guys that have a clinching, explosive takedown, ground and pound style. They're not seeking out those guys. I think they've seen too many explosive kickboxers that they've put a lot of money into get exposed. The Yair Rodriguez's. Like Yair Rodriguez is their international Latin Mexican star, and then he gets double-legged by Frankie Edgar 9 times and gets his head beat in, and the guy's never been the same. Barbosa. Barbosa's the most electrifying kickboxer until he runs into Khabib. Francis Ngannou, explosive fighter until Stipe says, I'm not going to stand with this guy, but what I am going to do is put him on the ground and pound it. I think they don't want it anymore. Do you think they want Adesanya fighting a 200-pound wrestler who's going to double leg him and put him on his back and hold him down? And I don't think they want that. Like, you just look at Adesanya's run through the middleweight division. He hasn't been on the ground. So it's kickboxing. So we're running a kickboxing organization. Okay. That's just my take on it. And I could be completely wrong. I just don't see that style prevalent anymore. They don't want those guys. They've let a lot of those guys go. They've let a lot of those type of fighters leave and go to Bellator. And yeah, you just don't see it anymore. I mean, it's not mixed martial arts anymore. It's kickboxing.
No, and you're right. They do get rid of those fighters. I mean, I remember when John Fitch lost his first fight in forever since the GSP loss. And they were just like, just go. Like, we're done with this guy.
And listen, like I said, some guys are going to make their way through anyway. Khabib's going to make his way through anyway. You're going to have guys that come from Khabib's school and his style of fighting. You're going to have the Islam Makhachevs. They're going to make their way through it anyway. Their new superstar is one of those guys. But it's almost like you have to be so good that you can't be denied if you're that style. But I think what the smaller organizations are learning is those guys are not going to get recruited. And then what happens is I think the schools around the country are learning, well, we can't teach this style because you're not going to get picked up. So I think this filters down into the MMA world of there's no money in being an explosive ground and pound clinch fighter because they're not going to pick you up.